Hey guys, I'm a huge fan of adaptogens. The reason why I say this is because adaptogens, they can be used for extended periods of time by pretty much anyone without worrisome side effects. And while adaptogens have many benefits, today's video is going to focus on those of you who are inundated with stress, which isn't that all of us, as well as women that are experiencing menopausal symptoms that they can't seem to control otherwise. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me real quickly, my name is Amanda Brooks. I'm a practicing physician assistant. I've been practicing emergency medicine for 19 years, and it's really my hope and desire to help bridge the gap between modern and alternative medicine. So this video I decided to do because I talked to so many patients and asked them if they're familiar with adaptogens, and they aren't. So here we are. So what exactly is an adaptogen? So in a nutshell, adaptogens, they're plants or medicinal mushrooms that increase your body's resistance to stress. Okay, and how do they do that exactly? Well, they target something called the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. This is what is stimulated when we are experiencing stress. And so it helps to regulate mood and digestion and temperature control, as well as immunity. And how adaptogens work is they build up over time in the body, and they help to decrease cortisol. So in this video today, I am going to talk about the most powerful adaptogen, as well as a product that I've found and use personally that contains several different adaptogens. Not only do I use it, but I recommend it to patients who have seen amazing results. Okay, so I want you to understand exactly what happens when cortisol is released. Okay, well, first of all, cortisol is released as a response to stress. So sometimes I'll hear patients say that, oh my gosh, I know my cortisol level's high and it's causing me to feel stressed. Well, no, it's actually your body's adaptation to dealing with stress. The problem is if that hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, if the loop is not shut off, you're going to start to experience chronic stress from chronically high levels of cortisol. And when we have high levels of cortisol, we also have increased amounts of glucose in our bloodstream. This happens so that we can experience that fight or flight. You know, we can either fight the lion or we can run from the lion. But what happens in modern society is that also increases insulin production, which then can lead to central obesity and a whole host of other issues. Cortisol release also, it shuts off the immune system. Okay, so many individuals are prescribed synthetic cortisol, which we call prednisone, right? Like, so autoimmune disorders, if you've got a bad case of poison ivy, if you have a lung infection. It also decreases sensitivity to insulin. So this is exactly what we don't want. We want our cells to be sensitive to insulin so that they can utilize the glucose. Excessive amounts of cortisol also causes an excessive amount of sodium and water to be retained. So sometimes when I see a patient that's extremely stressed out and they have ballooning ankles and feet, it could be a result from excessive cortisol production. It also, when cortisol is high, it causes potassium to be released. So it causes low potassium levels. What do we do when we're stressed out? We typically, I've done this, tend to eat salty, crunchy snacks, which if we're retaining sodium and we're excreting potassium, probably not the best plan. Long-term results of excessive cortisol release can also lead to damage in the hippocampus, so our brain, causing brain fog. Can also cause excessive acid secretion in the gut, leading to gastritis, which in turn is why sometimes individuals develop stress ulcers. Is all this making sense? Are you scratching your head and wondering if maybe you would benefit from an adaptogen? Well, the number one adaptogen, the most powerful adaptogen that I spend most of my time talking to patients about is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha, it's been around for the last 3,000 years, so it's not new to the scene, but still so many individuals are not aware of this hugely beneficial herb. Okay, so when it comes to adaptogens, there's relaxing adaptogens and then there's stimulating adaptogens. Ashwagandha is used for its relaxing effect, so it is great for those of you suffering from stress and anxiety. Ashwagandha, it helps to control that HPA axis that we talked about earlier and decreases cortisol production. There's actually a study that was done in 2019, I'll link in the comments below, that shows that ashwagandha decreases cortisol levels in the morning as well as DHEA, which essentially is a precursor to cortisol. It also increases testosterone levels. This is a good thing because usually when we're stressed out, testosterone levels decrease. It also increases endurance. Strength sometimes is decreased with excessive cortisol production, so this is also a good thing. And then overall mood is enhanced tremendously when looking at this study. So if you're someone that's experiencing excessive amounts of stress and wants to try out an adaptogen, remember, slow and steady. These build up in the system over time, so give it some time. But I would start with 300 milligrams in the morning and at night, and then reassess after 3 weeks. I think so many people try to take something and then they expect an immediate result, and then when they don't get it, they stop. Okay, and the moment that you've been waiting for, the product that I use personally and I recommend, it's called Woman's Vital Daily. It's put out by the Very Good Elixir Company. I'll put the link in the comments below. But why this product is absolutely phenomenal is, number one, it's created by a master herbalist who's from my home state. Her name is Charity Berry. She does her research. So this is a product that I'm recommending to women of all ages. There are, like I said, several different adaptogens that help at the different stages of life, whether you're just starting to menstruate and you're experiencing period cramps, or you're perimenopausal, or you're menopausal. So one of the main adaptogens in here that I absolutely adore is maca. So maca supports our sex hormones. So if your sex drive is dwindling, then try this. Black cohosh, which has been studied for hot flashes. So if you just can't get a hold of yourself and you're sweating, having to go outside every other minute, try this. I also love that it contains lavender flower. It has a mildly sedating effect and helps with anxiety. Blue vervain, again, helps with anxiety. Licorice root is used in here to help with digestion. Again, several different herbs. I'll put the link below. I hope that you found this information helpful. It really is my goal to help improve the wellness of the world, and I can't do that without you. So I'm hoping that you will click on subscribe to my channel and share this with anyone and everyone that you think it will benefit. Thank you so much.